My name is Rebecca. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as EvilTwin2. You can find show notes on the blog, owlknitwithyou.blogspot.com. You can find the group on Ravelry if you search owlknitwithyou. And you can email me at owlknitwithyou@gmail.com. How in the world are you guys? It's 2015. Things are happening. The sun is shining. It's 55 degrees on the 18th of January. What is that about? I didn't wear a coat today. Last year was like polar vortex. So that's great. Probably not good for the earth, but it's enjoyable weather. We have two new fronts, so let's welcome this yarn mom, who is Wendy from Colorado, and also Irma R-B, who is Irma? I don't know how to say that, from California. I'm a dork, and my name is Rebecca. So if you would like I can't even think today. This is ridiculous. I obviously have not had enough caffeine. So if you want me to introduce you on the podcast, go to the podcast thread and introduce yourself in the introductions thread. Or if you're more comfortable, send me a message. That's totally fine. And then I can talk about how pretty and wonderful you are and all the beautiful things that you knit and how everything in your projects page made my queue get even bigger because this is ridiculous. I am now at 8 pages of queue. 8 pages. And I will be honest, the reason I have 8 pages is because if you want to wish list an item, it has to be in your queue, I think. And so, like, it's a half a page of queue and 7.5 pages of wish list. Because you never know. You never know. And then sometimes I go back and buy stuff out of there too. So, we have so much to talk about because I haven't got to talk to you guys in like 1.5 trillion years because life has been crazy busy and hectic. So let's get down to it. I cannot remember what I told you last. So, if I repeat myself at all, I'm very sorry, and I will try not to. I don't really enjoy watching my old podcast because it's weird to hear yourself talk, so I didn't go back and rewatch it. But anyway, so, Christmas is over. I did lots of Christmas knitting, and it was fun. And during Christmas, I got bit really, really hard by the modular bug, which I will show you some of in a bit. The blanket square bug, if you will. So that's a reminder, if you knit Hexie Puffs, go to the podcast group and show off your Hexie Puffs. I love to see them. I really want to make some that are like colorwork Hexie Puffs, but I never sit down and do it because I don't ever plan to knit Hexie Puffs. I just take stuff with me and then I'm like, oh man, all these beautiful Hexie Puffs are beautiful. Then I haven't done anything exciting at all. So that's super lame. I should do that. But I was making mitered squares, so you will see some of that in a little bit. I didn't get a lot of yarn stuff for Christmas. I did from my brother and his wife because they are great shoppers and wonderful people. And my mom got me like 2 skeins of sock yarn, and that was really it. And then my boyfriend's mom got me a 3-month subscription to a bat club, which I should be getting the first one within the next week or two. And then she got me a $50 gift card to Eat Sleep Knit, and I just spent it all a couple of days ago. So it had been like almost 3 weeks since I got it, so it was okay. And so I'll be excited to show you that. I bought a range of purples to make a beautiful purple shawl, and they're all lace weight, and they're all like 420 yards, so I think I ended up buying like 2,100 yards because on Eat Sleep Knit you have to get your yardage to get the yarn-thon, which is every yard counts towards your miles, and you want to hit like a 1K, a 1 mile, a 5K, a 5 mile, you know, then if you can, work yourself up to 26 miles, which is a heck of a lot of yarn. And I don't have that much lace weight. I feel like I've got a lot of sock yarn right now because I can't spin lace weight. So I bought a lot of lace weight yarn. She also got me the book Huggable Mega Mochi, which is like knitting cute, adorable, stuffy things. So maybe I'll have some of those to show you in the future. And she bought me Harley Quinn pajamas and a couple other things. It was good. And then I just had my last Christmas the weekend before this weekend, because it's like all the really extended family, and it's like gift cards and perfume. But I got some gift cards and perfume, so that's pretty awesome. I got some Starbucks money this Christmas. I get Starbucks money every Christmas, so that's always something to get excited about because I love it. I use some of it to buy a cup because, you know, then you get to keep it. I feel like I'm really rambly. For New Year's, I went to Nashville, and I was there from the last day of December till like the 4th or 5th of January. Because I left on that Wednesday, and then I stayed there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it wasn't like, gotta see everything in Nashville, because my brother and his wife live down there. And so we did like lots of cool hangout things. Like it was half like hanging out with them and half seeing Nashville. We eat lots of great food, play a lot of games, found a yarn shop. Some of it I've already knit. And some of it I knit that weekend actually. But you know, just hanging out down there. It's only 3 hours away from me, so it's a really fun like weekend getaway type thing. But meanwhile, all sorts of things were happening online. So the 'Twas the Night After Christmas shawl turned out to be a mega monstrosity, and that is not an exaggeration. I was thinking, you know, like maybe a 500-yard shawl, like no big deal. It was over 2,000 yards easily, which is ridiculous. And so I am not going to be knitting that shawl this month at all. So I have amended that knit along to just be, in general, a shawl along. I will probably pull for a winter. I've really enjoyed pulling and buying something from the winter's wish list, because then it's something that you want. You get it right away. I don't have to mail you anything, which I'm not always the fastest at. And it's something that you yourself have said, that's what I want. And it's not some yarn that you're like, oh, that's great, you know. So I'm enjoying that. So that might be what the prize is. So if you go to the group on Ravelry, there is a 'Twas the Night After Christmas thread, but it's pretty vacant because everyone has shifted over to the shawl along. For a very limited time in December, there was a shawl available called Dance with Dragons, like Khaleesi from Game of Thrones, and that is the shawl I am doing, and I will show it to you in just a minute. But if you are in the group, please do not ask other people to give you discontinued patterns, because they are not the person who made the pattern, so it's not really legal for them to give it to you. I can get why that would be frustrating to have something that was out for such a short amount of time and then you just didn't know about it until afterwards, but I will not be giving that out to anyone, so that, I mean, that's just a thing. Sorry, I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings or upset anybody, but I don't feel like I legally can do that. So go check out that thread and shawl along with us. The second winner of the Selfish Selfie Saturday Sunday thread was B Rocker, and her selfie was pretty awesome, if you must know. And so I gifted her a pattern. It was actually a shawl, I think, so that she could do the shawl along if she wanted to. So let's move on to some New Year's aspirations. And I don't say any resolutions because I don't ever do them, it feels like. So instead of making resolutions that I'm like resolutely gonna do, which I don't, and then I feel like lame for not doing them, I make aspirations. Like, it'd be great if I did this, but if I don't, that's okay. That's all right with me. So last year I really wanted to spin and knit 5 miles worth of yarn. So spin 5 miles worth of yarn and knit 5 miles worth of yarn. I knit 6.71 miles. What? That's insane. And then I spun 4.95, so I was just under, just barely. The thing is that I got my spinning wheel last Christmas, so we just had our 1-year anniversary. Me and my spinning wheel are very happy to be together. I got it a gift. It's more fiber. I'm just kidding. But I'm gonna try for 8 miles this year. So I'm gonna see if I can knit 8 miles and spin 8 miles, which is a lot. So that's what I'm hoping for. And I have more to talk about new exciting online things in the Harry Potter side of stuff, but I will save that till the end of show. So now that we're through some of that stuff, I will go to Blather. That's right, we're just getting there. I don't have a crazy ton, so don't freak out. I did my first whisper sync. My notes are over here. I'm sorry I keep staring off in this direction, but that's just where my notes are. I did my first whisper sync book. So Kindle / Amazon / Audible has this thing where you can buy the book, buy the audiobook by them, and then if you read it in the Kindle app, you can download the audiobook because Audible is part of Amazon now. And what it will do is if it's whisper sync ready, because some books are not, if you're listening to like 5 minutes of it, then the book will flip pages or will open up wherever you stop listening. It will open up to that page. So it's awesome because then, you know, if you want to read it a little bit and then also you're like, oh, well, I'm going to go driving, but I want to hear more of the story, you can listen to it. It's so fantastic. So I did it with Red Rising, which is a young adult book. It's really good. I really liked it. It's really, really crazy. And I don't know how to tell you anything about it because there's so much that happens. I got the whole, I got the audiobook and the Kindle book for like $6. And I don't know if that sale is still going on or if it's just discounted because the next book came out or what. But if you want a really good read, listen, or way to try whisper sync, $6. Red Rising. I will totally link it in the show notes because it is awesome. I moved something on my page. I just bought the second book to it, which is Golden Sun, and I'm about like 30 minutes away from finishing that because I've done that mostly in audiobook. So I feel like sometimes with audiobooks I get a little distracted and I kind of lose what's going on. So I might go back and actually read all of it and not just listen to it because I think I missed some stuff. Because I feel like there's been jumps, and my friend and I, Amanda, are doing Speed Readers Book Club. We just started it like a couple of days ago because we keep suggesting all these great books to each other and we read them, like we get hooked on stuff and we have to finish it like right away. And so we're in this Speed Readers Book Club. And so I'm trying to keep ahead of her and she's trying to keep up with me. And so in that, I think I've just been like listening to it too fast because I'm listening to it at 1.5 speed, which now if I listen to it on normal speed, it feels too slow. So I might need to go back and physically read the physical text on my digital reader. You know what I mean? I think it sinks in better, and I think I've missed a couple of things. I did read Red Rising. I read most of it because I had time to. So, buying the Whisper Sync Red Rising thing led to me buying a lot of the Outlander series on Kindle because they're all like $5 a book right now, or at least they were when I bought them a couple weeks ago. Just so that I could go back and physically read them, and not just listen to them. And so now I've set up Whisper Sync with the current book I'm on, which is Voyager. So I've been reading a few pages and listening to a few pages, but I had never read any of the books. I'd only been listening to it. So now people's names are throwing me off because I'm like, oh, that's how it's written down. I've only heard them spoken. And so now to hear it, to look at it and read it, it's so bizarre. There's actually a thing in Red Rising, which is the first series I was talking about, where this person has an accent and they just talk about the accent in the book. They don't tell you what kind. So in the audiobook, the dude has a Irish, Scottish-ish accent, and then he has to fake not having an accent. And so you hear that out loud, and that's really cool. But so there's pros and cons to this audiobook thing. You're gonna get the right pronunciation, but at the same time, it's a whole lot easier to space out on something that's being read to you. So, my next thing is my current complete obsession. I decided while I was in Nashville that I really wanted the perfect journal, notebook, planner thing for 2015. I needed it to be the best one. And I actually bought an A5 size, which is half of a piece of letter. So if you took it and folded it thin-wise, and then, so it's like this big-ish. I bought a 3-ring binder that was that size and some stuff from Target. It was okay, but it was way too big. And then I bought another planner from Barnes & Noble that was on clearance for $5. And it wasn't quite what I wanted, so I took back the stuff from Target and I gave the clearance planner to a friend who was wanting one because it was just $5. It's not like it was 50 bucks. And meanwhile, I had been on Pinterest trying to find cool stuff for my planner. And I ended up finding this thing called a disc bound system. So a disc bound system uses, whoo, my chair's tilted, these little bitty discs, and they have these raised edges, but then inside you can see like the edges are really raised, but the inside is super flat. It's kind of hard to tell. And you get a special hole punch for them, and then you can use them to bind your notebooks. See how that holds those in there? It's really crazy. So this is my notebook that I have designed the pages for, made my own cover, all that stuff. It's got this nifty little thing for my pins. It says, given enough coffee, I could rule the world. Now that's just something I found on the internet and printed out and totally stole from somebody else. But then, so I made these pages with some scrapbooking vellum. They just got stickers and stuff on them, so I can use those. Some people call it a dashboard on Pinterest. They call it making a dashboard for your planner. Post-its and all sorts of washi tape. By the way, if you did not know, Joann's has, or my Joann's at least, has a $1 section now with like these washi tapes, which if you're big into washi tapes, this is a big deal. They're like 4 to 8 yards instead of a whole roll, but then they're also only $1 and there's 2 in each pack. And it's awesome. So that's where most of these came from. Like maybe this was in a pack with one of these or something, but the colors all match, so it's really matchy-matchy and fun. Here's some more of my washi tapes. And then I have an envelope full of stickers, and I printed some of my own washi tape out on labels. So there's like individual labels in there. And then some of the washi tape I got from Joann's had a backing to it because this glittery stuff tends to come off on the next piece of tape. So to prevent that, instead of having it all stuck together like they do in a roll of tape, they put like backing on it so that you peel that off whenever you want to stick it on something. So I've got 4 or 5 different ones of those. And then, okay, so I really like the bullet journal system. Bullet journals are the best journals to keep ever. The only problem is if you have a bound journal and you make a to-do list on one page and your information that you need is on the other side of that page, you have to keep that page. You can't tear it out, which to me was really frustrating, which is why I wanted something modular. So I kept the main ideas of the bullet journal. So here is what 1 month looks like. It's still like numbered, and then I'll go in and write the days of the weekend on the side, and it's got a month at the top. But then, so instead of having like the blocks for the month, this is my entire month, and I can just look at it and see what's going on. Look, there's my little SSK. So things that span more than 1 day, I just put on a piece of washi tape and I span them more than 1 day. It's super easy and it's super cute. And then for my day-to-day stuff, let me find you a page, I will put washi tape to separate my days, and I got some fun monster stickers, and I got some fun coffee stickers too, of course, because coffee's important. Like here's the previous page, washi tape and owl stickers everywhere. So I think it just keeps it really interesting. But then, okay, so those are my like day-to-day stuff. And I've got tabs for all the months because I can now do that. Like the thing about bullet journals is you don't know for certain where your next month will fall, which is irritating because then you can't write stuff down for the next few months. So I made all my months. They're all in there. And then for like notes, I have a notes section. So like instead of just hodgepodge writing those in, I keep them all in a certain place. And then, so this was something I found on Pinterest. What? Oh, and I designed all these pages, which is super fun. I'll put a link in the show notes if you want any of them. I don't, it's up to you. So like this has a coffee stain on it, and like the months have coffee rings around the days. See those little rings? Those are fake coffee rings that I found on the internet. So I saw this really cool idea on Pinterest where you would write down an inventory of what you have in like your freezer and your fridge, and then you mark it out as you eat it so you know what you have and when it's going to expire and all of that. So I just did my freezer the other day, which is not very exciting. But then I also have the dates I need to use it by. So if I'm hungry, rather than get off the couch, I can just flip through there. Or if I'm grocery shopping and I'm like, oh, I bought the thing. What thing did I buy? Just flip through my inventory. I also did all my spices, which is really handy because I have a lot of spices and I can never remember what I have and what I don't have. And I have a rotary one that I keep out of reach because there's no counter space for it. So I wrote down those on a separate page. Right? So then I have pockets for my coupons I get from Target. My to-do list looks like my months, except that those are empty and it just says to do on there. I made a to-pack list. Not to-pack, but to pack, like if I'm going on a trip, I can make my list on here. I've got some just blank pages in there for, you know, doodling or whatever. And then one of the cool things that I really like is I made a fake library card printout, okay? And then I'm going to keep track of what I read on there this year. So these are books that I've read this year, and then at the end of the year, I'll know what I have read, because it'll be right here. And one other thing I did similar to that was I made a Harry Potter knit and crochet page. So it's got each 3 months for a term, and then all the extra stuff, and you can write in what you did and how many yards and all that sort of thing. So overall, I'm just really excited about it. Okay, so I'm going to show you what these edges look like so they fit on the rings. I told you, I'm a little obsessed right now. So you just kind of like peel your page out. And it's not ripped or anything like that, but here are the hole punches. They look like little mushrooms. And then those just fit. Gotta put this back on the right way. Those will just fit back on these rings and you just pop them in, which is really hard to do when you're holding it up like this. So they just pop back on. Okay, I have to hold it like this to do it. Sorry. Not as impressive if I can't hold it up. But then they just pop back on and now it's back in there. But as opposed to a 3-ring binder where you have to open the 3 rings and it's loud and sometimes the rings no longer meet. I mean, this, once you've punched it and you stick it in there, it's pretty much in. I think I do need to change my back though because I used a piece of corrugated cardboard for it and I think it's just too thick. But aside from that, I think everything else is really good. I'm going to be making a recipe book out of the same system because I have the hole punch. And the hole punch is a little expensive because I know if you're buying the hole punch, you're probably done buying their paper. But you can just buy paper and notebooks with the rings all set up in them too and move them around the same way. I think they are $8, but you're getting the rings, which you can reuse on anything or more paper or whatever, and then a front and a back, and then usually like so much notebook paper. But anyway, as opposed to the 1-inch 3-ring binder I had, this is my little journal now. And I mean, it's whatever I want it to be, which is kind of awesome. So I've been really enjoying that. That is my favorite thing this new year. Aside from all the yarn stuff. The yarn stuff is fine too. Okay, so now that we're done with Blather, finally, I know, we can move on to Blobins, which I totally have some. So a while back I mentioned that I was going to be saving my scraps of spinning stuff to make one mega awesome skein, and that day has come. So yeah, here it is. I had to use 2 different main colors. One is this green and yellow, and one is this like sunflower yellow. So the skein is like very split, but at the same time, all throughout, there's all these different yarns that are mixed with it. Some reds, some purples, some other greens, like there's all sorts of stuff in here. And so it's gonna be this really interesting knit, because I mean, look at this. This is totally not even the same yarn at some points. I haven't weighed it yet, so I don't know how much it is or how many yards, because I usually put it into a cake, and that's how I find my yardage when I'm doing that. Because I had to use someone else's knitting naughty because I did this at the spinning guild I go to. Sorry. So I'm not even sure how big the loops are. I feel like this is a little bit longer than the skeins that I come up with. But I really like it. It's about a fingering weight, and it's totally awesome. So I I will let you know how many yards this is in the show notes. But this was a really fun spin. And it was nice because everything was like already done. I just had to ply it all together, which was really fun. It was just like all the good stuff. And then, oops, my notes just went to sleep. Hold on a second. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so let's move on to my woes and my woes. Now, I mentioned to you the whole shawl along thing and how I was switching to Dances with Dragons. I'm still using this green that I bought for my sweater. And thing is that it's a sport weight. So it's bigger than lace weight or fingering weight, obviously. But, so I'm trying to decide when I want to stop doing repeats. Because this is already like just under my arm span. It's pretty big. I really like the pattern though. And so right now what I'm doing is you knit the edge first and then you go back and you knit the rest of the shawl. So right now I'm still doing the edges and I'm like not even halfway down with my repeats and it's really massive. And I'm afraid if I go on for as long as it wants me to, I'm gonna run out of green yarn, which is ridiculous. So, but it has this really pretty beading on it. And there's beads on all of these little edges too, this is my first time beading. So I'm really excited about it. And I just bought my beads at Walmart because they were exactly what I needed. So, I think it's turning out really great. Also, I'm using new light bulbs today. I don't know if it looks differently to you. I am filming during the day, but I've been having some weird lighting issues. So I bought what's called, day bulbs or daylight bulbs. And they're supposed to give you more of a daylight look, like a cleaner, I don't know. So hopefully the colors are coming out right. They look right here, but sometimes the monitor on this and my actual camera look way different. So this is my Dance with Dragons shawl so far, and it's turning out super lovely and it's super stinking huge. Look at this, how big it is. Oh my goodness. So also I had to do a provisional cast on, which is what this is down here. So hopefully it'll all work out and it'll be really fun and I'll just really enjoy it. So, but we'll see. It's not done yet. It's not done. So, more woes. I started this ridiculous mitered sock blanket. And I say ridiculous because I really just started knitting it because I wanted to do a project before the next term started in the house cup. But I didn't want it to be anything big. And I was tired of knitting Christmas presents, so I started knitting a blanket. And it's not huge or anything yet. I mean, it's still pretty small. But I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and I don't know. I really like it. So I've made a few more squares for classes, but they can't be part of the blanket when you do it, so I can't do these attached areas, which is good because it needs to be much wider anyway. So those are the ones I've been knitting, which I will show you in the feeded photos because they are considered finished objects for the cup. Oh, yes. So I also am doing another shawl, and this is my OWL for the house cup. And I know I'm in the middle of a row, so it's going to be kind of hard to see. But it's my planned pooling shawl. Get excited. Ooh, I just lost a stitch marker. It just rolled off at me, but I will find that. They're little sheep. Anyway, so let me see. How can I show this to you? Okay, so I'm gonna hold it like this. That'll totally work. The planned pulling is going really well. The lace has already started coming out and it's beautiful. I really like everything about this. I do feel like it's gonna take 100 million years to knit, but I've got all the way through the end of March. So I can do this. So there it is. That's as far as I've gotten, just a couple of inches. But it's going really well. And the only reason it's not farther along is because I've been working on my Dances with Dragons shawl. And I started that within January. So if I want to count for a class, I have to finish it by the end of January, which I really do. I want it done. So I'm probably going to work mostly on that this month and then hurry to catch up for this planned pulling shawl for the next because I have to hit 50% by sometime in February. So I'll figure it all out. I haven't got the timing worked out quite yet. So let's move on to defeated foes. I knit some charity items, which I haven't donated yet, but I have them knit. I knit 2 baby barley hats for round 1 of Quidditch. And they are awesome. Barley hats are becoming one of my new favorite hats to knit. It's got a, I'll show you on this one, it's a little easier to see. It's got a stockinette section and then a garter stitch section, so that when they put it on, it's like 2 separate hats. 2 separate patterns. And most of it is garter, but then there's just a little patch of stockinette. And it's just really fun. And I've knit 2 of those. So those are 2 FOs. And then for myself, I knit my own barley hat. And this is yarn that I bought at the Stitch and Post in Nashville. And it's kind of like frozen colorways. It's got all these frozen-y colors, and then oranges like Olaf's nose, and purple like Anna's dress. So I mean, it's frozen basically. I did knit it a little bit big, so I have rolled the bottom. But you can see here's my stockinette patch, and then here's my garter stitch. But I think this hat is easily one of my favorites. It just looks really fun. And then I have a couple of teeny tiny mitered squares, because I do 20 stitch ones in, oh, that has so much, there we go, 20 stitch ones in fingering weight. And the nice thing is I get to revisit all these yarns that I've knit things with that I kind of miss. And here's a hexie puff I did out of that same sock yarn. So those are all my FOs. How exciting. I had so many things to show you. I also knit several boot cuffs that I don't have to show you because they've already been gifted. And my mom has requested more boot cuffs to match the sweater she just bought. So there might be some boot cuffs you see in the short future. Today, after I'm done and while this video is processing and stuff, I will be spinning my rear end off. This round of Quidditch that started today, it's either 365 yards or 375 yards. And rather than knit that much, I'm just gonna spin, because you count 1 ply and then the next ply. So if your yarn is 100 yards and it's a 2 ply, then you get to count it as 200 yards because you spun 200 individual yards, right? So that is what I will be doing today. And also, okay, so I'll talk house cup in a second. So, as for mustache, I did buy a couple things. You saw the hat, that's from the Stitch and Post. I bought this navy sock yarn because I really want to do some like stained glass looking colorwork socks as a mega project. And I needed a dark color. I didn't want it too black. So I picked navy because I thought even if it's like a rainbow color, because I have rainbow striping yarn, and I thought that would be really fun as a stained glass looking sock, because there are some really pretty colorwork socks, and if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go big or go home. So this is Comfort Sock by Barocco. It is 50% fine nylon and 50% fine acrylic. So this is not gonna felt, because I just felted a pair of socks, which makes me feel like an idiot, and they are super duper felted. So if you remember, they're my Collie Wobbles by Fibertown, so I'll be knitting new Collie Wobbles sometime in the next few months. But anyway, this will be part of a pair of socks. I'm excited about it. I'm really excited. So that was one of my mustaches. One of my mustache is also some yarn I bought for my mom's boot cuffs, which I'll show you then. That's really all I got on my trip to Nashville. I have incoming Eat, Sleep, Knit stash, so we'll see it all. Now for what makes me happy. 1, Nashville New Year. 2, already finishing projects. I got that hat project in and those mitered square projects in for classes. Yeah, I'm on the ball. My goal is to do at least, okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. 3, I got some amazing Christmas presents, and I love my family and friends and people who have gifted me stuff for Christmas. They get it. they get it. They do. I also had fun gifting fantastic things for Christmas, you know, knitted wear that people will just like, it brighten their faces. So I loved both ends of it. It was fantastic. Winter was great. I enjoyed not having a lot of post-Christmas knitting. The last few years that I've knitted for gifts, I have been recklessly trying all night to finish projects in time. But this year, like, I just got stuff done, or I decided I would buy them something. Like, I wasn't gonna let it linger. Like, I've had Christmas presents that I gave people on Valentine's Day. And this year, I'm like, no. No, I'm not doing it. That's so stupid. And 5, I have a super fantastic group, because even though I haven't been podcasting recently, the whole shawl cow, there's already so much chatter in that group, and you guys are being so awesome to each other and helpful advice and throwing things around and posting pictures, and the selfish selfie Saturdays were so much fun, and you guys are just awesome. So thank you for watching. On February 1st, it will be my 1-year podiversary. So thank you guys for all, I mean, you're all new, you know, you've only been here for less than a year. So thank you to all of you guys, and there will be a giveaway, which I will talk about in the next podcast. So those are what makes me happy. Now, if you don't want to hear about the Harry Potter Knit Crochet House Cup, feel free to adjourn. You're not going to miss anything. But if you want to hear some House Cup news, I have so much to tell you. Okay, first off, I proposed my owl, which is my planned pulling scarf. Totally approved. Today is the first day for brooms. I'm spinning 10 ounces of fiber in a fingering weight, but that's all the specifics I gave. So I'm thinking I'm gonna grab all of the samples of fiber that I have and then spin them as one long yarn, but then do Navajo plying, right? So it's a 3-ply, and that way all of them stay within their thing. So that way, like, if I have one yarn that's green, it won't be mixing with some yarn that's like blue, it'll be like green, blue. So it'll almost be like non-repeating stripes. That's my plan. I'm really excited about it. So that's my broom. Quidditch starts today. That's also spinning. So I'm going to spin for Quidditch first, I think. Or if my yarn comes out to not be long enough, then it's part of my broom. Easy solution. So the prides have opened, and my pride is awesome. And we started doing this system where we open a thing for them at Gringotts Bank. We each open them each an account, and then they can collect coins to put in there. Nuts is what they call them. KNUTSZ? I don't know. And so we've done like daily things you can do, like Thursday chat or work in progress Wednesday. And right now I'm in the middle of a raffle, so people could buy 1 to 5 tickets, and then I'm gonna draw for a prize, and it's really exciting. I submitted my bullet journal / disc-bound journal thing for class. I submitted it for herbology, I think. Let me check my list in here. Yeah, disc-bound herbology. It's awesome. Because there's a lot of classes that are non-Ravelry crafts this month. There are like 3, I think. So I took advantage of that. And the prompt was combine one or more things, combine 2 or more things into one item. So I took all of this stuff and made one journal. And it was, I got it approved, and I went ahead and submitted it because I had already made it, and then boom, done. I loved it. My nose is itchy. So my pride is called the Norwegian, no wait. Yeah, the Norwegian Ridgebacks, because all the prides are dragon themed this year. With our battle cry for the mantle, where we're trying to get both the House Cup and the Quidditch Cup, because I mean, you have to win them with points. And Gryffindor hasn't won in like 3 years. And this is my 3rd year. I've never won a House Cup, which is really a bummer. So today, I'm going to be spinning like, my nose is itchy all of a sudden. Spinning like crazy for the mantle. And I have made so many rabbitars, and everything is awesome. And I don't know, it just seems like extra exciting this year, or this term, because I am in charge of a lot. Like, There's so much to keep track of, but at the same time I feel like I just like chat all day long. It's awesome. But other than my classes and the broom and the owl and Quidditch, that's all I've got for you. I did propose a James level mission, which means I need to do a total of 18 classes, which is about 6 a month, but if I get behind, I can do like 2 extra a month or something like that. I have to do all of Quidditch. I have to do a broom or an owl or a newt, and I'm doing a broom and an owl. And then I think I also have to do the headmistress challenge. So I have a lot of work ahead of me, but I'm super excited about everything because I can do mitered squares if I need a little project, or hexapuffs. I can spin things. I can work on my beautiful shawls. I mean, I don't have like, last time my broom and my owl were both knitting projects, and I think that's a really bad idea because I was trying to finish this sweater and make all these, the hitchhiker and the other one, the wingspan, and it was just too much knitting. Like I couldn't delegate it. But now when I get bored of knitting on my shawls, I can stop and go spin for a while, and it's a totally different motion. So if my arms are just tired or whatever, I can just knock it out. It'll be great. So yeah, everything's really exciting. And I think that's really all I have to say about life today. So I hope you all are having a wonderful day. It'll probably come out tomorrow, so Monday. You are all my favorite owls and yous. And remember, if you're on a road trip or if you're home spinning or knitting, I'll knit with you. Bye, guys.